Why does a punch knock you out? Well, the answer seems intuitive, doesn't it? You get a concussion, you get trauma to the head. But what's actually going on at a deeper level to put someone lights out? So I'm actually reading a new book at the moment called Knockout by Andy Clark, who's an excellent boxing journalist I've been following for years. And he actually goes into this a little bit, and he referenced a paper called How Can a Punch Knock You Out? The same title as this video. And that goes into even more detail. So I read it, and the answer is interesting. So first of all, we have to go back in evolutionary history a little bit. We have to talk about evolutionary pressure on the human hand. So the human hand is a little bit different to other primates. We can make a proper fist. We can fold our fingers in firmly, which obviously gives support to our fist when we're punching a jaw. Whereas other primates can't do that as well. They can't make a proper fist because their fingers are longer. And as well, humans are more upright than other primates. So we can really get rotation force through our hips, which transfers into our punch, which allows us to deliver a strong punch to the head. Whereas other primates, such as chimpanzees, they rely more on blunt force trauma. So dislocating limbs, pulling testicles off, literally, because they're extremely strong and extremely muscular, and their bite force is tremendous. But we're a little bit different here. Now, why did our hand evolve like this? Well, it might have been evolutionary pressure on tool use, actually, to obviously have dexterity in the hand for efficient tool use, but also violence might have played a role here, which is obviously very interesting. A smaller role than tool use, but the fact that it may have played a role is interesting and a little bit scary as well. Okay, when a punch actually lands to the face, it's usually an uppercut or a hook that puts you out. So dead straight punch to the face, it might stun you, it might even put you over, because if the head snaps back, your head is off the center of the midline of the body, that might put you down, but it doesn't usually put you out. If a straight right does it, it probably has to arc over, and that's because your jaw actually has to spin. So your jaw acts like a lever, your neck being the fulcrum, it spins, and something about the spin is actually what puts you lights out. Now, the damage here seems to be in the cerebral cortex, the outer layer of the brain, which is actually scaled up in humans compared to other primates, so ours is bigger. Older theories about knockouts were interesting. So one of them is called the brain indent theory. Your brain was meant to have indented and this transferred force throughout your skull and this put you out. We know for a fact that doesn't happen. The next one happens in other combat sports, not boxing, like MMA or even jiu-jitsu. You might see someone going out with a chokehold because of blood flow restriction. But that takes about 6 to 8 seconds. So that can't be why a punch to the face puts you out, because it can be instant. So you often see if a boxer lands a really flush punch to the face, the fighter who takes the punch is often out before they hit the floor. So there's something instant that actually puts you out, that completely short circuits consciousness. So it's actually at a smaller level on the neuron. You have these long, almost like wires called axons. They transfer the electrical transmission along the neuron. Now, what happens when you receive a punch is that's clean and your head rotates, the shearing force and the twisting force on the brain, that actually causes tiny little pores to open up on the axon. This upsets the electrical balance of the axon, so the neuron can't fire properly, and that actually causes you to go lights out. So consciousness is taken away from you in seconds. Now, when they actually model this in a lab, it turns out that for the time the pores take to open on the membrane of the neuron and to actually close, it actually reflects a similar time to when a boxer gets knocked out and recovers.